Bitcoin basically is seeing a little bit of a bid again. Nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. We did see that flush below. Remember this channel that we were talking about? How, and again, I love doing kind of reverse. I almost wish you could play back that video from, let's say, last week when we were talking just before the Bitcoin collapse. But it is remarkable how you can see here that, and I'm going to erase this white trend line. I'll tell you guys about that in a second.
Bitcoin Zella stands out with its simplicity and clarity. We've crafted an experience that anyone can dive into, whether you're a crypto expert or just a new to the crypto world. Now, guess who keeps his eye on us? The author of best-selling book Rich Dad Poor Dad, Robert Kiyosaki. And we want to take this opportunity and thank all the people who trusted us, and we read every comment. And the best part, it's free. Subscribing now means you will get all new information for free. Don't just follow the trends, stay ahead of them. Subscribe to Bitcoin Zella today and enjoy the new edge. Let's join Gareth in this video about Bitcoin and more.
How Bitcoin was above this range, right? So it had broken out, right? Broken out, and then it came back, tested, and then this is where things started to go south for Bitcoin, is that when you break out above a wedge, let's do a little diagram here. Here's your wedge. You break out. That's a breakout. It should continue to go up. Okay, what happens is when you break back in, that's now called a failed breakout. And one of the epic rules that I've learned in trading is that when you get a failed breakout or breakdown, the move in the opposite direction is usually pretty dramatic. And why is that? Let's talk human psychology right up here. The idea is that you had a lot of people jumping on board when it was up here, right? It was a breakout, it's broken out, it's going to go to new all-time highs. When it doesn't, and it comes back in here, investors are like, okay, I bought up here, it's still okay, I'm still giving it the benefit of the doubt. This is what they're thinking. But when it breaks here, they throw in the towel. And you get all these people that bought up here. Well, not all of them. Some of them still holding, obviously. But a lot of these up here, they end up dumping. And that's why you saw such a dramatic drop down in this range. Now, there are still some people that are buying down here. Heck, you know, I covered half of my short. We bought Ethereum. We bought Matic. We bought Polkadot. We already unloaded our Polkadot for a nice gain. We bought Uniswap, unloaded that for a good gain. But the idea is that ultimately, now you're at a reset where there's a lot of people buying here and it's chopping. And can it continue to move up? If it breaks here, right, 52,000, it's going to get another flush because people will say, uh-oh, here it goes again, and it's going to flush. And that's where that 50 to 49,000 target comes in. That would be your next technical level. Now, speaking of which, let's just talk about our current levels because, again, these are the levels we want to follow. We zoom back out a little bit. You continue to have support at 52,000, give or take. 52 to 52.5, we'll call it right there. If that breaks, this is your 49 level. I'm taking the 49 level as a technical level because previous major pivot tops become major supports on the way back down. So if we look over here, and I actually have to zoom out a little bit to show you guys this, bear with me here. Let's do that there. If we zoom out just a tiny more bit here, we can see that the reason why I'm utilizing this is because one of the technical analysis principles is that a former major high, and this was a 20% correction off of the ETF approval, that now becomes technical support. So it got rejected here before it broke out, and now that becomes support on the way back down. So if we do dump 50 to 49,000 should be major technical support, if for no other reason than a technical bounce for us swing traders out there. Now, if it breaks that, that's where the trouble starts. Once you get below that, you might be headed back towards this level. I'm not saying that's going to happen. In fact, I will be a buyer around 50,000 or a break of 50,000 on Bitcoin. But as a trader, we always have to watch both sides. Like if I'm long something, I need to be looking at what happens if it doesn't work out. Where are my levels to either add or exit the trading opportunity? If I'm short something and it breaks above, what am I doing? How am I maneuvering in that trade to try to still make it a profitable trade or cut it at a small loss? And so that's important. Many investors, they kind of do the whole put your head in the sand thing. Like they go long something and then they're like, hey, listen, I don't want to hear anything negative on it. No matter what, nothing at all. Just tell me the positives. And it's like, okay, well, yeah, in a perfect world, that would be the only thing that happens. But in real world stuff, you have to be ready for the opposite to happen. It's kind of like in life, preparing for no matter what happens. Like you lose your job, this is what you do. If you do this, this is what you do. You have to have a game plan just like these game plans in the morning are for you. Okay, So that's just a couple little tidbits. We know our levels here on the upside of Bitcoin. We're looking at 60,000, this reversion to the trend line right here. It's around 60 to 61,000. That will be our resistance level.
Bitcoin's price momentum may be sluggish for the next 3 months, but long-term analysis predicts a potential 300% gain by 2025. Bitcoin could potentially quadruple in value by late 2025, according to APS32's analysis, using the power law metric. BTC's price momentum is expected to remain sluggish for the next 3 months before resuming an upward trajectory. The power law provides a support band that has historically held, predicting a $1 million BTC price by 2036. Current analysis suggests BTC is in line with past cycle patterns. Reduced selling by miners and significant inflows into US-based Bitcoin ETF indicate growing market confidence. ETF saw nearly $300 million in net inflows on July 8, the highest in over a month. Bitcoin's price may remain stable for the next 3 months before accelerating. Long-term predictions suggest up to 300% gains by late 2025, supported by historical trends and increasing institutional investment.
Gold is getting a small bounce. We did see a reversal yesterday. Doesn't matter. Yeah, I mean, it's still slightly, that is in a short term, a bearish reversal, but we broke and confirmed above this zone. So all that tells me is at some point we likely come back into this level. That will be a key right there. All right, and I will be a buyer of gold if we come into that level. Same thing on silver. Broke out, it confirmed. So downsloping channel, broke out, confirmed. Now any sort of retrace into this level becomes support with an additional add level right down there. Those are your technical levels to look for support. And of course, oil, guys, which continues to have a little decline today. This was a level, probably one of our more high conviction setups here, as I've talked to you guys so much about it. Triple threat right up here. Major trend lines coming together as resistance. Oil has now pulled back and is pulling back today again. You will have some support around $80 right here, but ultimately I would expect a small bounce. And then further downside, I talked about the macro data here. The macro data is weakening globally and domestically. That'll eventually bring oil down. That's just the nature of the beast. Lastly, natural gas, guys. Small bounce yesterday, small bounce today. Little downsloping trend line here that's giving it a bounce. My buy level is still a little lower, so my guess is this is kind of what we're going to end up doing. A little bounce and then a rollover, and then I'll decide if I want to play it on the long side off this key level. It's a 618 Fibonacci from this low here to that high, and it's also this trend line area right here, this kind of flat top, flat surface right in that space.
JP Morgan warns that Bitcoin may have already peaked, dimming hopes for a new high in the current cycle. Bitcoin reached $73,737 following the debut of various Bitcoin ETF, but failed to maintain its momentum. Despite multiple attempts, Bitcoin couldn't sustain its rise above $73,000. Bitcoin's price dropped below $54,000 last week, experiencing the biggest correction of the current cycle. Bitcoin ETFs saw significant outflows in June, totaling $662 million. Some analysts, like FundStrat's Tom Lee and commodity trader Peter Brandt, still predict higher prices for Bitcoin, with Lee targeting $150,000. On July 8, Bitcoin spot ETFs saw $295 million in inflows, indicating possible recovery. Michael Saylor hinted at Germany's recent Bitcoin sales with a cryptic message, suggesting the impact of large-scale institutional actions on the market. Michael Saylor, co-founder of MicroStrategy, posted, "Everyone gets Bitcoin at the price he deserves," likely addressing Germany's recent Bitcoin sales. The German government's Bitcoin wallet added back 3,073 BTC, bringing its balance to 27,461 BTC, $1.57 billion. Analysts suggest these are buybacks after sales, affecting Bitcoin's momentum. Germany's sales show the influence large holders have on the market, causing volatility and price swings. Saylor's message may critique the government's decision to sell large BTC volumes, which impacts market stability. If you've been with us so far, a big thank you. Don't forget to subscribe for free to Bitcoin Zella for your daily news. The link is waiting below. That's all for today's crypto news. Stick around for more updates, insights, and analysis on cryptocurrencies. Share your thoughts in the comments, like this video, and subscribe for more exciting content.